All right, let's talk about grant writing, but I want you to forget the old playbook just for a minute, because honestly, the rules have completely changed. If your proposals sound the same as they did 5 years ago, you're not just falling behind, you're probably not even in the game. So let's get into what funders really want to see today.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to zero in on the one new question that drives every single funding decision now. Then, we'll open up the toolkit you need to answer it. We're talking logic models and theories of change. After that, we'll get practical with writing outcomes that really stand out. We'll dodge the most common mistakes that get proposals rejected. And finally, we'll tie it all together by weaving this way of thinking into every part of your grant.
So, what is this big change all about? Well, it's a huge shift in mindset. For years, funders asked, "What are you going to do?" Now the question is, what is going to change because you do it? And trust me, this isn't just a trend. It's the new standard. This question right here is everything. If your proposal doesn't answer this, loud and clear and with proof, it's pretty much dead on arrival. From this moment on, every single word you write has to serve the answer to this one critical question.
And just look at this comparison. It really lays it all out. The old way was just listing your activities. We're going to provide 200 hours of mentoring. That's the old model. But today, funders aren't paying for your time. They're investing in change. They want to see the result, the impact, the real-world outcome.
Okay, so how do you answer that big new question? Well, you need the right tools. We're about to unpack the essentials. First, we'll get straight on outputs versus outcomes. Then we'll dive into the logic model. And finally, we'll talk about building a killer theory of change.
First things first, we have to get this distinction right because it trips a lot of people up. An output is simply what you do. It's the how many. We served 150 students. That's an output. It's important for sure, but it's not the main event. The outcome, that's the change that happened because of what you did. And here's the secret. Always, always lead your story with the outcome.
This brings us right to the logic model. Now, don't let the name scare you off. Think of it as your program's roadmap. It's a simple chain of cause and effect that connects your resources all the way to your results. It shows a funder that you've thought it all through. If we have these resources and do these things, then we'll get these direct results, which will lead to these big, important changes.
Now let's go one level deeper. If the logic model is your roadmap, the what and the how, your theory of change is the why. It's the story behind the map. It's you explaining to the funder, hey, this isn't just a guess. Our whole approach is backed by solid evidence that shows if we do X, then Y is going to happen. That's how you build some serious confidence.
So as you're building that theory, you absolutely have to be able to answer these questions. What's the real problem? How does your fix actually work? And what proof do you have? And just as important, what are you assuming is true? Being honest about your assumptions and what could go wrong, well, that shows a level of maturity that funders really appreciate.
Okay, theory's great, but let's get our hands dirty. It's time to actually write outcomes that are specific, measurable, and, valuable. This is where the rubber meets the road, and honestly, it's where a lot of proposals just fall apart.
We've all seen this one, right? Maybe we've even written it. Improve participants' educational attainment. It sounds nice, but to a funder, it's basically air. It's a promise with zero details. How much? By when? How will you even know? It's just too vague.
Now, look at this. The difference is night and day. This is a statement with power. It's got a number to aim for, a specific metric, a deadline, and, this is the magic ingredient, a baseline to measure from. A funder sees this and knows exactly what you're promising and what success will look like.
And this is the little framework that gets you there. You have to make sure every outcome you write is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, results-oriented, and time-bound. Just run every outcome statement you write through this filter. No exceptions.
And that brings us to what might be the single most important and most often forgotten piece of the puzzle, the baseline. I mean, think about it. How can you possibly prove you made a difference if you don't know what things were like when you started?
A number like this, all by itself, it means absolutely nothing. A 27 percentage point improvement. Okay, so did you go from 10% to 37%? Or did you go from 70% to 97%? Those are wildly different stories. Without the baseline, the number is just noise.
So let me just be as clear as I can be on this. Baseline data is not a nice to have, it's not optional. It is the absolute foundation of everything. If you're not collecting it, you need to start like yesterday, because a good grant reviewer will spot that it's missing from a mile away.
All right, now that we know what to do, Let's flip it around and talk about what not to do. Let's run through a few of the most common mistakes that will absolutely sink an otherwise solid proposal.
First up, the classic mistake. Talking about your activities instead of the change. We will provide 300 hours of tutoring. That tells me what you're busy with. But participants will improve reading proficiency by 1.5 grade levels. That tells me the life-changing impact you're going to have. Total game changer.
The next big pitfall is using these fuzzy, unmeasurable outcomes. Youth will have greater confidence. I mean, that's a fantastic goal, but how on earth do you prove it? The fix is to find a tool, like a validated survey or scale, to actually measure it. This turns a soft outcome into hard, credible data that a funder can rely on. And finally, please avoid overpromising. Saying you'll get 100% of anyone to do anything, it doesn't sound ambitious. It just sounds naive. Your credibility is everything. It is so much better to set a realistic, ambitious target that's based on data and then knock it out of the park. That's how you build trust.
So we have all these powerful tools and concepts. The last step, the final boss, is to weave them all together. This outcome-focused thinking can't just live in one section of your proposal. It has to be the golden thread that runs through the entire story.
And when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. Lead with your biggest, most exciting outcome in the executive summary. Use your baseline data to paint a powerful picture in your statement of need. Every single dollar in your budget should be justified by how it helps you reach your outcomes. This thinking has to be in the DNA of the whole document.
If you only remember one thing from all of this, please make it this. Funders are not just writing checks to keep you busy. They are partners, and they are investing their money in real, tangible, measurable change. Your proposal is your promise to deliver that change.
So I'll leave you with a challenge. Go find the last proposal you wrote. Read it again, but with these new eyes, and ask yourself one simple question. Is this document telling a story about being busy, or is it telling a powerful, data-driven story about making an impact? Answering that question honestly, well, that's your first step to winning the funding your mission deserves. Thanks for listening.